Jan friends, I'm Major Gaurav and you're watching the CHANAKYA Dialogues English. I don't agree with my government's decision on letting these Pakistanis in even for the World Cup. We should have denied them visas. Hell with the World Cup here. Afghanistan attacking Pakistan is new. It's not new. You know what Pakistan says, war on terror. War on terror did not start 2 years back. War on terror has been going back 20 years. Jan friends, I'm Major Gaurav and you're watching the CHANAKYA Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Now, a lot is happening in Pakistan and a lot has happened in the past 24 hours. And let me tell you where it all started from. You know, Pakistan has got a whole bunch of Afghan refugees who came from Afghanistan to Pakistan because Pakistan started interfering in Afghanistan's internal affairs. Pakistan created terrorism everywhere. Inside Pakistan, inside Afghanistan, they created the Taliban. They created absolute chaos and civil war, right? The Afghanistan before 1979 was a little different from what it is now. Not a little different, very different. It was a different Afghanistan. Pakistan burnt that country to the ground. So the refugees came to Pakistan. Now, to cut a long story short, today Pakistan is saying that we do not want these refugees and get out and go back to Afghanistan. Why is Pakistan doing that? There was a time when Pakistan used to get a lot of money from the United Nations to take care of these refugees. That money has stopped. Another thing is that, Pakistan used to get a lot of money from the Americans when the Americans were in Afghanistan, and the Americans were there for 20 long years. After 9/11, they came to Afghanistan. For 2 decades they were there, and every month Pakistan would get money because all the equipment, all the logistics were happening through Pakistan. You're aware that Afghanistan is a landlocked country. It does not have a port. So there is no way a ship can reach. So the ships would reach Karachi. From there, they would be taken through and through that long route and go into Afghanistan. And that is how the international coalition, which was operating under the aegis of the United States of America, that is how it was being supported. So troops would fly in, obviously. But, when a war is fought, there are millions of tons of equipment required here. And it's impossible to lift that volume, by air. Nobody has got that kind of lift capability in the world. Not the Americans, not the Chinese, not the Indians, not the Russians. You have to move, like for example, fuel. You need millions of liters of fuel. Millions of liters of fuel. How are you going to get that through air, or food maybe, or shoes and ammunition and guns and spare parts and just a whole lot of stuff which has to go, either by rail or by road. It can't go by air. So it comes through ship and then goes by rail and road. That's what I'm saying. So Pakistan made a lot of money. It made billions upon billions of dollars. And it kept on getting aid and funds from the US. Now, when the US left Afghanistan, there was nothing for Pakistan. It's not that terrorists from Afghanistan attacking Pakistan is new. It's not new. You know what Pakistan says, war on terror. War on terror did not start 2 years back. War on terror has been going back 20 years. It's been going on back 20 years. You see? So when Pakistanis say that we sacrificed 80,000 lives in the war on terror, ask any Pakistani, he'll cry about 2 things. $100 billion worth of infrastructure destroyed and 80,000 lives gone. When did these 80,000 people die? I'm sure 80,000 and more died. I'm not disputing that figure. All I'm saying is that when did it happen? It happened across 20 years when they were taking money. When they were taking money and radicalizing their own society in Afghanistan. Now, what has happened is that they have stopped getting money, and suddenly the Afghans that were earlier, Muslim brothers and Islamic neighboring country. And you know how happy Imran Khan was? He spoke about Zehni Azadi, the freedom of the heart and the mind, and how the Taliban are a force for good and how Pakistan will now be strengthened, etc. All these mad ideas which normally come into every Pakistani's head, they celebrated. Then the Afghans started hitting the Pakistanis again with renewed fervor. And there were suicide attacks because that was bound to happen. It's nothing new. This has been happening for centuries. The raiders have been coming from the north and the northwest. This has been happening in India, undivided India, for centuries and centuries. It's been happening for 1,000 years. I mean, what is new? Raiders have always come in from that direction. So Pakistan today says, we don't want Afghan refugees. Throw out everybody. So what they've done is started insulting and humiliating women, which to any Pashtun is a matter of life and death. Honor demands blood. That is the Pashtun tradition. Honor demands blood. And that is exactly what the Pashtuns are doing. So what has happened is that, so the homes of these Afghans inside Pakistan, they've been bulldozed. And many of these guys were actually born in Pakistan. No mercy, get out, get out, get out. Since the Pakistanis are not getting money, for money Pakistanis will do anything, For money, they'll go to any length. But here they're not getting money, so why should they tolerate anybody? They started throwing out everybody now. Very interesting. 4 things happened, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to name on 4. So, 3 days back, the Taliban minister for defense, or the Taliban acting defense minister of the Taliban government, his name is Mullah Muhammad Yaqub Mujahid. He issued a stern warning to Pakistan, urging them to consider the consequences of their deportation efforts before taking unilateral actions. So this is what he said. Another thing underlined is, so the Pakistani regime should think of the consequences of whatever it is doing. It should plant as much as it will be able to reap. Now this is a direct threat. In homilies and idioms and old saying that only plant that which you're able to reap. Which means that don't bite off so much that you can't swallow it. Alright? Don't start a fight that you can't finish. This was a direct threat. And then what happened? Today morning, we'll start with the latest news. Today morning, the Pakistan Air Force base at Mianwali was attacked. Mianwali is in Punjab, by the way. So anything that happens in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and anything that happens in Balochistan, that is not news for the mainstream Pakistani media, because stuff keeps on happening there. There are suicide bombings, there are target killings, and it's all right since it's happening at the back of beyond. But this is Punjab, and this hurts. So in Mianwali, the Pakistan Air Force base was attacked. 6 militants entered the Air Force training base and they started this firefight. There were suicide bombers along with them. There is an outfit, Tehreek-e-Jihad Pakistan, which has claimed responsibility for this attack. Source-based reports also mentioned that the attackers used a ladder to enter the fenced walls of the airbase. They were carrying the latest weapons. Obviously, these could be weapons, and this is my guess. I'm only guessing that this could be the weapons that the Americans left behind, in Afghanistan, because they said that they were carrying the latest weapons, and AK-47, which is normally used in that region, is not a latest weapon. It's a very old weapon. So they were carrying the latest weapons. So obviously they were carrying American weapons. That's what I'm assuming. And there are reports that multiple planes parked inside the airbase were destroyed. 3 militants were killed before they entered the base, and the other 3 had been cornered. So ladies and gentlemen, in the past 24 to 48 hours, 3 major actions. This is the latest. The Mianwali Air Force base attacked by militants. Before this, what happened was, there is something called the KP Elite Force. The KP is Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The KP Elite Force was going. There was a bomb planted and they killed 5 people of a police patrol. All right. This was in Dera Ismail Khan in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. 5 cops were killed. Okay. And before that, around 24 hours before that, 14 were killed. 14 Pakistani army personnel were killed in a convoy. 2 vehicles were going. And the security forces were moving from Pasni to Ormara in Gwadar district. So from one place, Pasni to Ormara in Gwadar district, they were moving, and they were ambushed in between, and 14 were killed in one shot. So you have the Gwadar incident, 14 killed. You have the 5 killed in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Dera Ismail Khan, that attack, bomb attack. And then you have the Mianwali Air Base. So we don't know how many people killed in Mianwali Air Base, but the casualties will come out if Pakistan decides to be transparent. This was the country that refused to take its own fallen in Kargil, so I don't expect very much from Pakistan, but yeah, some news will come out. Again, going back to Pakistan, Micky Authur, the Pakistani team director, he says that one of the reasons for Pakistan's bad performance in the World Cup is because, these guys, Pakistanis, they've been given additional security by the Indians. And he says that you can't go out of your room, it's like COVID times. And so essentially what Micky Authur is doing is making excuses. Hardcore excuses here. And it's shameful that a man so senior will stoop to such a level. And then he goes on to qualify and say that, while most of the security arrangements that have been given to the Pakistani team has been as mandated by ICC. But what the Indian government has done is given them an additional circle of protection. And why is that a bad thing? There have been videos of Pakistani cricketers going out and having biryani in Hyderabad. They were ordering food in Kolkata. They were roaming around freely. See, anybody who comes and if there is a threat perception or if we think that our guests are not going to be safe, it is our job to ensure 100% foolproof security. And why is that a bad thing? I think they should be saying thank you to the Indians. Rather, they are finding fault. Micky Authur, who's a foreigner, even for the Pakistanis, he's a foreigner, he's a white guy. Micky Authur has become Pakistani. If not in nationality, then in character. He's become Pakistani. I don't know what sort of mental disease this man is carrying, but it must be very serious. Now, also he says that we have lost out because we did not play in the IPL. Well, you have your Pakistani league, whatever it's called. You also have a small midget IPL sort of thing that you have going inside Pakistan. You should be happy playing there. And if you want to play in the IPL, stop terrorism. I don't agree with my government's decision on letting these Pakistanis in even for the World Cup. We should have denied them visas. Hell with the World Cup here. But if they have come here, they should learn to be grateful. We're doing the best we can. You see, before the matches were played, the Pakistanis saying, oh, look at the Indian hospitality and so much of food and love and affection, and we were welcomed, and people were saying Babar Azam at the airport and all that. That was all fine. Pakistan starts losing matches and suddenly there are conspiracy theories. Why is Pakistan losing? Pakistan is losing because you guys have substandard cricketers. Okay? And there is no other reason. Grow up. Stop behaving like a sissy. You bunch of sissies always making excuses. No, this happened because of that. This happened because of that. Nothing happened because of anything. Play good cricket. Play hard cricket. Play to win. Okay. Now, the Saudi prince, Mohammed bin Salman, he's eyeing a stake in the IPL. Now, this is a very interesting story, ladies and gentlemen, and he's eyeing the stake in the IPL because he believes that the Indian Premier League is, and that's true also, that Indian Premier League is one of the biggest sports leagues in the world, the IPL, right? So you have these basketball leagues, you have these crazy football leagues, and you have American football. I'm talking about soccer on one side and American football on the other side. And you have these mega leagues all over the world. You have the baseball league in the US. IPL counts, I think, among the first 5 or first 7 leagues in the world. I don't know the exact ranking, but it's right there at the top. And they say that its valuation is $30 billion US, IPL, $30 billion US. And what they are suggesting is they've already started contacting the Indians. They've contacted the Indian government, the Saudis, and they're saying that let's put this in a holding company, IPL, and we want to invest $5 billion in IPL. So we invest $5 billion, we get a part of the pie, you sell us whatever it is, that portion of the IPL. Idea of Mohammed bin Salman is, see, Mohammed bin Salman is a smart guy. He's not just one, random person who's the crown. No. This man would have been successful even if he was not part of the royal family. Mohammed bin Salman is a visionary. He's a thinker. He's a doer. And he can see 50 years ahead. So you have to give the man his due because this man realizes that oil will not last. He realizes that. He knows it's a finite resource here. It's a fossil fuel. It's a finite resource. And the way we use oil, the day is not very far when oil finishes. 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, then what? In Mohammed bin Salman's lifetime, in his lifetime, the use of oil will become minimal because alternate energy will come up and of course oil is finishing. And Saudi's economy is entirely based on oil. Of course, People come for tourism, Hajj and all that. That is one portion of it, and that is also a decent pie. I'm not denying that. But I'm saying that much of their income comes from oil. And that is the power of Saudi Arabia, oil. And that oil is finishing. So Mohammed bin Salman is looking 50 years into the future. And he's saying that you need a society, and he has started making societal changes. The beauty of this man is he has started making societal changes. This man says that, you see, you need to have more freedom. So women were not allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia. Now they are. He's coming up with entertainment parks. He's opening up Saudi Arabia. And he's saying that let it be a financial hub for the world. Let it be a tourism hub for the world. Come to Saudi Arabia. There is entertainment, there is sports. Come enjoy yourself. And he's opening up Saudi Arabia at a rapid pace. Saudi Arabia, that has been like that for more than 1,000 years, is now opening rapidly. And it's all happening because of the vision of one man, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. What does he actually want? Why IPL? He wants to take the Indian Premier League to Saudi Arabia. He wants IPL matches in Saudi Arabia. It's a huge draw. People from across the world will come to Saudi Arabia to watch cricket. People from India will go, people from Pakistan will go, people from Bangladesh, Australia, whatever. They'll all land up in Saudi Arabia. They're going to play there, and it's big money. It also changes the perception of Saudi Arabia being this extremely, extremely conservative nation. And having this impression that it's an extremely conservative nation and there are harsh punishments for everything, this is not good for business in the long run. And this is what Prince Mohammed bin Salman is changing very, very rapidly. So ladies and gentlemen, with this I come to the end of this video. Now I'll take question and answers. And here is the first question. We have Jeet Sibadri. Namaste Major Arya ji. Namaste Jeet ji. Thank you. Very enlightening because your opinions are that of a real military man. Your insight is more comprehensive for the civilians to digest. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I just wonder if Wagner gets attacked, how will their political representatives respond? We are in murky UN water when it comes to international agreement on these entities and their accountability. Although that would also be appreciated on the Chinese so-called research vessel in Sri Lankan waters. Okay. So Jeet ji, I have not understood your question, but I'll just say that if Wagner gets attacked, Wagner gets attacked. It's no skin off Russia's back, because that is what I explained in my video yesterday. Wagner has complete deniability. And that is the beauty of Wagner. Russia can step back and say, we don't know who these guys are here. Sure, they are Russians, but they're not sponsored by us. We don't know about Wagner. So this is what it is. The second question is the Thunderbolt. Hello, Thunderbolt ji. Jai Hind, Major sir. Khalistanis claim that they are fighting for their motherland, which is Punjab. The 2/3 portion of Punjab is in Pakistan. So are Khalistanis actually demanding their Pakistani Punjab territory as their motherland? If they're demanding Pakistani, then their demands are not illogical. Your thoughts, please. See, there is this Khalistan is all nonsense. Let me tell you, my friend. Khalistan is all nonsense. Khalistan is a front, right? Like, you have an NGO and you say that save the whales. So some guys are actually saving whales. I'm not saying they're not, but there are many who would be using that to do illegal stuff. Khalistan is like a fraud NGO. Okay? Khalistan is a front for drug peddling, narco terror, and illegal immigration. What do you think Gurpatwant Singh Pannu does here? All these guys, Khalistanis, massive immigration racket, hundreds of thousands of youngsters from Punjab going especially to Canada and other places. They give big money. It's a multi-million-dollar business. And I would not be wrong if I said multi-billion-dollar business. Drugs in Punjab. It's called chitta. Ask any Punjabi who actually lives in Punjab. Punjabis would live everywhere, all over India and across the world, but ask any Punjabi who lives in Punjab, he'll tell you what chitta is. All this is narco terror. So they earn money through drugs, they put it back in terrorism, and they put it back to further their aims. And all these things about having a free state, a free Khalistan, nobody wants anything. These Khalistanis are so dumb, they don't even know how to tie their shoelaces, right? And they will never say that, give us Lahore, because they're being funded in part by the ISI. And the day they open their mouth and say that Pakistani Punjab should also be Khalistan, suddenly you will have these Khalistanis, dropping off with strange diseases. Suddenly one guy collapses in the parking lot and he dies. Somebody drowns in his bathtub. All these crazy things will start happening once they name the ISI, or once they name Pakistan for that matter. Why should they name the ISI? So let me tell you, Khalistan is nothing. It's a front, right? It's a screensaver for illegal activities like drug peddling, like narco-terror, extortion, contract killing, illegal immigration. That is what Khalistan is. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata ki Jai.